I would have beat Canelo for sure. Even just watching him against Skull, he's just washed up, inactive, doesn't throw a lot of punches, not very strong.
Clip came out over the weekend of you crying from your reality show, Paul American, which is on Max, soon to be HBO Max, which I guess was just a couple of days, 12 or so days before the Tyson fight. You're very, very emotional when speaking of the fight, saying that you're excited but also a little bit scared. You had a bum ankle, a sprained ankle. Was that the constant state of emotions leading up to the fight in the days, or did they catch you in a particular mood that day? Not trying to relitigate the whole thing, which kind of played out, but in your mind, if this was a football field, how close to the end zone was this fight from happening on Cinco de Mayo weekend?
We were on the 1 yard line and we got a pick six. The interception going the other way, man, in the fourth quarter, game winner, and we just got intercepted. So, but I understand it, Basically, they threatened to pull Canelo's $300 million contract if he were to fight me. That's how bad they want me out of boxing. They can't stand that I'm the one doing the biggest events. So they threatened to pull his $300 million contract if he was going to fight me. So I understand where Canelo was coming from and wanting to secure that bread for his family.
Why do you think that was? Because it wasn't like it was conflicting with the Crawford date. So why do you think that was, if your information is correct, on the table where, hey, you take this fight against Jake, we're taking away the rest, the 3-fight deal. Why do you think they cared that much?
Because if you are someone spending billions of dollars in an industry and you aren't number one and having the biggest events, and meanwhile there's a little Disney kid running around spending $0 and having the biggest events, as a competitor, you're going to do anything to stop that person and to be the biggest. And so that's the nature of this dirty business in boxing, and the ego is involved, and how badly people want to be the king of this sport. And so that's the nature of the beast.
All right, real quick, I gotta know if I'm missing out on something. Should I actually be watching the show on Max? Let me know in the comments if it's good or if it's not. And right now, I want you to put between 0 and 100% in the comments, so 10, 20, 30. What percentage chance would you give Jake Paul against Canelo? Put it right now.
How do you think that fight would have gone?
I would have beat Canelo for sure. Even just watching him against Skull, he's just washed up, inactive, doesn't throw a lot of punches, not very strong. And what's crazy is one of my main sparring partners from the last 2 years was the one who lost to William Skull. He was the one that should have been fighting Canelo, and his name's Vladimir Shishkin. He beat Skull way worse than Canelo did, and this is the guy I'm sparring with every day for 2.5 years, going toe-to-toe with. So people say I'm crazy. They've said this the whole journey. They said I wouldn't beat Tyson. They said I wouldn't beat Nate Robinson. They said I wouldn't beat Nate Diaz. They said I wouldn't beat Silva and Woodley and Ben Askren, every single person. So when it happens, I'm going to have the last laugh, and I know what I'm capable of. And there's a lot more names on the list that I'm going to beat in the next couple of years, and it's going to be the greatest boxing career of all time.
Do you think by the time it's all said and done for him, he does fight you?
Yeah, I think so.
Will you still be interested? If it's in 3-4 fights, and let's say he goes 2-2 in those fights, will you still be interested in that fight?
I think so. Just because we're arguably I would say, just from a third party point of view, we're the two biggest names in the sport. And because of that, it's just going to be fun and exciting. And I like making history and doing big events.
Did you watch his fight against Skull?
Yeah.
If you were to grade it, what would you grade it?
An F. I mean, just that whole weekend was probably the worst weekend in boxing forever and all of boxing's existence, right? Like I threw more punches in 8 rounds that were 2 minutes than every single fighter that whole entire weekend. So it's just I don't know what's going on over there, but I come to fight. I come to make entertaining fights, knock people out, put people on the canvas, and I guess other people just don't have that mentality.
I mean, this is kind of true because the fight with Canelo, that was boring. And don't even get me started about the night before, Friday. I mean, Garcia, Haney, all of them. It was like the most hyped up I've ever been for a night of fighting. And then it drained me. I was like, how is this even possible? Like, literally nothing happened that I thought would happen. Let me know right now, actually, because I just heard, who was it? Oscar De La Hoya say that, Garcia is not even thinking about the Haney rematch right now. What do you guys think about that? Who do you think would win, Garcia or Haney?
Was the next one Tank?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was on the 1 yard line as well, but he has to rematch, Lamont Roach. He wants to get that back. And then we'll be back in discussions with Mr. Gervonta. But man, this is the nature of boxing. You have massive fights on the 1 yard line and things just fall through.
As you're watching it, like he was a gigantic favorite, and this is on the heels of the Canelo thing. Are you like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know though, because I never really thought Tank was that good. It would just take the right fighter to pick him apart.
And see, I was right. I was right saying that they were going to fight. And now that we know that Tank and Jake were definitely going to fight, who do you think would win? Because, he's about to say that Tank was going to fight at 190. I don't know if it would be a catchweight or whatever, but they said that it would be an exhibition. But who do you think would win, or do you think it would be one of those BS things where there's no winner? Let me know in the comments.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195.
Oh, wow. So he would go all the way from 40 to 95?
Yeah, I mean, it would be an exhibition.
Okay. And so what does that mean? Is that 3-minute rounds?
Yeah, 10 3-minute rounds.
Over the last few days, speaking of KSI, Nikisa, who now is a force on Twitter, all of a sudden he got his Twitter account, and him and Mams are going back and forth, pretty much like negotiating you versus KSI on X, on Twitter. And so are we getting closer to it? I view all of this as some kind of positive because it seems like there's communication, there's talking behind the scenes, in front of the cameras, or on Twitter. Here's one of Nikisa's tweets. We have Mams's as well. Are we getting closer to it? Is this now becoming a reality?
Here we go, the main part of the video, and I really want to know what you guys think, so let it be known in the comments, because KSI versus Jake Paul, it was over all this weight. Now it's over 2.5 pounds, 190 to 192.5. Mams Taylor, he wants Woodley and Till to fight for the 2.5 pounds. Yo, KSI, just come up to the 2.5 pounds. Jake's already losing weight. You're probably above that anyway right now. You said 185. Jake said 200 to begin with. 192.5 is fair. Or just do a catch weight, right? This 18-foot ring, 20-foot ring, this is ridiculous, right? It's been 7 years. Like, do it for the culture, do it for the fans, do it for the people like me that have been watching this crap for 7 years, waiting for this damn fight. I'm sick of it, dude. I mean, it has to come. It has to come December 24th or around then, because you know what? People like me, we're not going to care that much longer. I mean, 3 years we cared, 5 years we're like, oh, it's never going to happen. We still cared. 7 years, it's hurting, but we still care. But I'm telling you, we're not going to care for that much longer, so get that shit done. But what do you guys think in the comments? You think it's happening, or do you think this 2.5 pounds is going to derail the whole thing like always? Let me know.
I don't know, man. Like, from our side, we've always been the ones wanting to make it happen. I don't think Mams is actually even involved in KSI's fighting stuff. I think the Wasserman people are the ones running it. So, like, he's just doing his clout thing on Twitter. And We've always tried to make it happen. I agreed to go down to 192.5, which is lower than Gervonta, the weight we have agreed for Gervonta, which is lower than me versus Canelo. And so now there's all these new negotiation terms, which I didn't even know of. They only want 8 rounds, like all this. So they just keep on adding new stuff all the time. And I'm focused on much bigger things, becoming world champion, fighting, guys like Gervonta, guys like Canelo, guys like Anthony Joshua in 2026. Usyk wants to fight me in MMA. These are all the things that I'm looking to do. I'm all KSI has. He's literally nothing without the Paul brothers. Logan brought him Prime, and Prime has kept him relevant. And him being able to fight me is the only thing he has left. And at the end of the day, I'm doing much bigger things and don't need to sit here and be negotiating things on Twitter. If they want to make the fight happen, they're going to do it.
Do you think it happens at this juncture in your heart?
I don't.
Oh.
I've said since before I fought Gib. I said I'm going to knock out Gib, and he's never going to want to fight me. So I've been saying this for 5-6 years, and this is a longer negotiation than Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. Like, someone tweeted that we've been negotiating longer than Floyd and Manny, and it's like, I'm clearly the one who's an active fighter. I'm clearly fighting everybody. I don't care. So who's the problem? It's clear as day.